lovely, bright and sunny day out here in this lovely rolling meadow. Just wanted to talk a little bit about a topic that has been heavily discussed lately in the last 2 years, which is science. Now, one of the big things that we've heard people say is they've talked about, well, there's like that mantra that has been going around, you know, I trust science, science will win, things like that or whatever. And, you know, I kind of chuckled when I first heard that, because I thought to myself, science doesn't need trust. Like, nobody needs to trust science. Science is not supposed to be, or at least I thought it was not supposed to be, a religion that required some sort of faith and required repeating mantras. When you think about what science is supposed to be, science is supposed to be about the study of nature, the study, the learning about nature, and the not just an understanding of nature, but figuring out how can the natural world be utilized to benefit the planet. And so when I hear people talk about trusting science, and they have people repeating mantras, it makes me think, like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? And then when they talk about science, there's often this speaking of it almost as if it's some sort of institution that someone owns. Science will win, and it's attached to certain institutions, certain people. Last time I checked, no one owns science. Science is something that is totally separate and independent, and it is, according to the theories of science, supposed to be something that is a truth that exists independently on its own. Not only does science not need trust, but real scientists don't need to fear an open forum. So real scientists don't need to frantically push to have certain narratives silenced through censorship. They don't need to do that, because science is just science, according to what the theory is. The theories, whatever you want to call them. If you believe that science is on your side, you don't have to fear an open forum, because you trust, here I am using the word trust, but you know, is what I meant to say. You know that the evidence is on your side, that that reality is on your side. So you don't need to censor anybody. You don't need to silence anybody. And then you look at how these people who have been engaging in this institutionalization of science and the censorship, how they have repeatedly contradicted themselves. I mean, here we have now, so back in 2020, supposedly, if someone chooses to wear a mask and someone else doesn't wear one, that person is still putting you in danger, and supposedly the mask you're wearing doesn't help and protect you at all. Now they've done a direct flip-flop on that and are now saying, oh yeah, if you choose to wear a mask, it will protect you. And when it comes to this whole mask thing, I've always thought from the get-go, just let people make their own choices. If someone feels secure, more secure wearing a mask, by all means, let them wear a mask. But the way we have seen this aggressive, authoritarian push and this censorship of anyone who doesn't go along with the newspeak, wanting to cancel, censor people, the way we've seen this, and then you contrast this with the fact that they have continuously contradicted themselves and told falsehoods, this is starting to make me feel almost as if they are becoming this institution that calls itself science. Because like I said, science is independent of any human opinion. And there are legit real scientists who are open to have their ideas challenged. But when you see this contradiction, you start to think, these people are almost, starting to act like their own religion, their own religious cult. And when you look at history, you will note that there have been several times in history where in certain theocracies, certain powers that be have controlled the narrative on what reality is. And the big part about it is, if you look at history, it has always been about not only controlling people's perception of what reality is, but controlling cosmology, controlling what people believe the very fundamental structure of reality is. And they have persecuted those who have spoken against them. Look at one of the most notable examples would be the Inquisition of the Catholic Church, where people were massively and aggressively persecuted as heretics who challenged the church's version of reality and cosmology. And the church's explanation of the very nature of reality and the various things that humans are afflicted with. And anyone who challenged that would be persecuted, and some people were even imprisoned and executed for questioning that. And I'm not saying that anything like that is going to happen today, but it is very concerning the way these people have done business over the last 2 years, and just how absolutely embarrassing they have been, to be honest. I mean, the reason why I don't care about getting on the internet and just openly expressing dissenting opinions is that once you actually begin to become aware of what's really going on, you realize that these people and these institutions you put on a pedestal are absolutely pathetic. These people are just bumbling idiots who just cannot even keep their story straight. One moment, oh, everybody do this, and this, oh, no, actually do this. And it's just the constant contradiction, the constant broken promises. And then they say, trust the science, and science will win, as if it's a team. Like, we are science. And they claim ownership of it. No one owns it. That's what I love about getting out into nature, because nature is a beauty and an intelligence that cannot be narrated. It just exists as it is in its real and natural form. Unlike what we've seen with these priests who have propagated and have told anyone who questions their narrative that they are some anti-science person, even when they are presenting actual scientific studies they have done. It's outrageous. How can you fix any of the problems that are supposedly be able to be fixed through science if we don't have an open forum? You leave the forum open, and then if you hear a certain narrative that you think is moronic, well, that's your right to believe that's moronic. But leave the forum open, because if you are a true scientist, you don't have to worry about opinions that contradict what you say. In fact, if something contradicts your opinion and then it comes up with actual superior evidence, you should actually be excited about that, because if you are a true scientist, you ultimately want the truth of the natural world to be discovered. So there is no trust needed. This is not a religion. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks again, guys, for tuning into my channel, and get out in nature and take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot.